Maria. I am the founder and CEO of Silas Insurtech. During my time in insurance, which was my background, I was a commercial property underwriter at AIG and at Inigo. What I noticed and what really baffled me during my time in insurance is that these companies are generating billions of dollars of revenue, and still we are using, as underwriters, fragmented services, outdated technology, and generally things that didn't work. So I left the industry, despite enjoying my job quite tremendously, to build a solution to the issues that I face on a daily basis. The solution is an integrated platform that takes you from A to Z, the end-to-end underwriting process, and streamlines it using the capabilities of analytics, artificial intelligence, and automation. So before I get into the details of this, sorry, I should stand here. Before I get into the details of this, I'd like a show of hands, please. Who knows what an underwriter is? Okay, a couple of people. All right, so for those who don't know, an underwriter and my former job role was to basically perform risk analysis on a large scale portfolio. So we'll take someone like KPMG as an example. KPMG has representation in 145 different territories. We assume one location per territory. I would have to look at the risk profile of every single one of those locations. In order to do so, I would follow an underwriting process similar to this. So risk exposure analysis, understanding what the risk profile is of those individual buildings, so fires, natural catastrophes, and anything that might interrupt their ability to generate revenue. The second was terms and conditions or contract certainty. So what sort of coverage would I offer to KPMG? And the third was pricing. So what premium am I charging KPMG? Within each of these, we found inefficiencies and pain points that basically prolonged the journey and the underwriting process in a way that shouldn't occur. So this is through risk engineering reports, policy documents and wordings, and the general ability to access data. So what did we do? We automated all of it. So before, the risk exposure analysis process involves looking at documents that look a little bit like this. Some of them look a little bit nicer than others. Every single one of them is 60 pages long, filled with information that I had to personally dissect. I would have a 60-page report times 10 or times 20, and typically that would take up about 25% of my time, which is absolutely ridiculous. So we automated that using the power of and the capabilities of generative AI, and we can then set information down into 2 pages, a risk management report summary that extracts data from these processes and standardizes the process. In order to further this, again, using the capabilities of AI, we were able to tailor and customize these solutions to each one of our insurance clients. So we didn't provide a one-size-fits-all solution to everything. We provided tailored, customized solutions for that. We reduced down the number of hours that I would take personally to look at one of these reports from 6 hours down to 5 minutes. Translated into the average underwriting salary of £100,000 a year, that's £25,000 saved already on a singular report. Now, the second feature that we focus on, and the second pain point that we focus on, had to do with contract certainty, which I mentioned at the beginning. So the terms and conditions. Again, they look a little bit like this. They don't look particularly nice, and my previous job was to look at these 2 reports, compare them to each other, and then manually extract that information and understand what needed to be added in, modified, or altered. So again, we automated this. Now, deviating away a little bit from the concept of artificial intelligence, we actually chose not to use AI for this, because for any of the lawyers or insurance personnel within this room, you will know that for contract certainty purposes, we don't want to sacrifice accuracy. With AI, we know that we sacrifice a percentage of accuracy, and for these particular documents, we don't believe in doing so. So we steered clear of that, but we were able to do so without AI. It took us a little bit longer, of course. AI facilitates a lot of things, but we were able to reduce our human error levels down and then the amount of time that it took. Our third feature, as you will see, doesn't actually have a before picture because currently we don't have an easy way in insurance to access data. So we created a solution for this. We're back to large language models, to machine learning, to AI, and we created 2 features. One that allows you to talk to your data. Any data that an insurance company needs to access in a simplified manner, we now have the capability of doing that. We've also furthered this talk with your data functionality to a talk with your documents functionality that allows you to question any information, so any of those documents that I mentioned previously, risk engineering reports, contract certainty documentation, and we have the ability to question that information for any information that you might need to retrieve from it. The way that we furthered this using the capabilities of prompt engineering and fine-tuning, we are now able to ensure that the responses that we are getting from our features are specifically tailored and geared towards the insurance company requirements. So So that covers our 3 features. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we intend to cover the A to Z of underwriting from the beginning right to the very end. So we are further enhancing our platform with 5 minutes. I don't have time to get into all of it, but we're also using AI to further our capabilities and provide AI-driven market insights, interactive mapping functionalities, of course, a chatbot. Everyone loves a chatbot. And we're furthering our LLM-driven summaries to provide analytics as well. Thank you so much for your time. Happy to answer any questions.